Earlier this week, we had our first snow of the season in the central of the northern Rockies. Wyoming, host to some of the heaviest, really even into Montana. But this is the view from Jackson Hole Resort, Cody Bowl. And you can still see there up in the higher elevations a little bit of white hanging tough. That's about 9,000 feet. So no surprise that as we get into the fall months here now that those types of scenes will be a little bit more prevalent. Tropical update for you. Some severe weather concerns and heavy rain along with that excessive heat in the eastern U.S. But Tropical storm Miriam continues, drifting to the west, taking a little bit of a northerly turn here tonight, and then certainly will be full force northerly on Thursday and into Friday, turning back to the west on Saturday and Sunday, but still tracking away from the Hawaiian Islands. Good news there. That's a look at Norman. Norman, of course, is a tropical storm. This certainly could become a hurricane, potentially even later this afternoon, and the forecast does have this becoming the potential of maybe a major hurricane category 3 or higher. So Norman, Miriam, Lane is still out there as a tropical depression or at least a post-tropical cyclone, and then in the Atlantic, no name storms, but the National Hurricane Center watching that wave drifting off the western tip of Africa with a moderate chance of tropical formation over the next 5 days. Meanwhile, very hot in the northeast. Heat advisories, even excessive heat warnings. Keep in mind that we have the U.S. Open, the tennis tournament in New York. It'll feel more like 101. I know we've had a lot of issues there with some of the athletes participating yesterday. 105 is what it'll feel like in Boston, 107 in Philly, 106 in D.C. So very, very hot conditions out there. A little bit of relief in the forecast, though, and that will be in the way of showers and thunderstorms, but quite a few severe weather reports yesterday. And then there is the slight risk of severe weather in the northeast, marginal threat all the way down to the Arklatex region. Then kind of watching a developing severe weather threat maybe on Thursday night into Friday with locally heavy rainfall reports of maybe an inch or two. Have a good one.